Piers Morgan had on a panel that was seemingly having a competition for the lowest IQ level, like it was golf or something, as they discussed a range of topics pertaining to the LGBTQ community. And in my humble opinion, Officer Tatum came out on top by far, or bottom. Lowest IQ. Fitting though, it would be a cop who had the lowest IQ if he is even a real cop. I don't know much about him, but by God, does he have some embarrassingly stupid takes. So I'll just let them speak for themselves and we can start with this one.
You won't be honest and tell the truth about the fact that it's absolutely mind-blowingly ridiculous to think that a man with a penis that's impersonating a woman or think he's a woman can be in a women's prison. That's insane.
But this is where the disagreement
you seem to think it's no disagreement, brother. The man has a penis.
It's
and he's
a woman.
in a cell with a woman.
She's a woman.
With a penis.
No.
A woman with a
This
penis.
I believe a trans woman is a
problem with
not
society.
pregnant.
This is a problem with society.
Don't all talk over each other.
Let me finish.
Yeah, let me
This
finish.
is the problem with society. We need to be logical, reasonable, and operate in facts.
I'm
It is a
respectful.
man that identify as a woman. It's not a woman. It's very simple. Why can't we get that correct?
Well, why can't
And
we
here's
ask?
the
Let's
thing,
ask Blair.
I don't know how
Blair,
things-
as the only trans person on this panel, what do you feel about what Officer Tatum just said there?
I 100% agree.
God, this is so frustrating that they have Blair White on to play the good little token trans person. Black people being in the Confederacy didn't legitimize slavery. We can start there. And what Officer Dum Dum is saying here is a completely self-defeating statement, and it's also begging the question. He's saying a man shouldn't be in women's prison. Yeah, we agree. The issue comes up with him not having the intellectual capacity to understand sociology to the level needed for gender ideology. Since the 60s or 70s, gender has largely been recognized as a sociological term, specifically a social construct, meaning it is socially defined. There is no binary or objective fact to it. Just because at one point we believe gender to be indifferent from sex doesn't mean we should deny reality as more facts and more things become discovered about it. Words and language evolve and change over time. Language itself is a social construct in that words are socially defined, and I'll prove it in a simple example. Take cool. The actual definition of cool refers to temperature or calmness in behavior even, but it became socially defined to mean something you really like or enjoy, the cool kids. And you can stretch that even further if you want. What was cool 50 years ago isn't known as what's cool today. So even within that social definition, we can see that the word has evolved. If you can define a word and point to it in society, you've created a label. That's how language works. If that label becomes socially accepted in society, boom, that becomes its definition. Think of a chair, for instance. A chair is defined as a separate seat for one person, typically with a back and four legs, but it doesn't need either of those requirements. All that is required is it is a separate seat for one person. Okay, so with that definition, how do we define what is a chair and what isn't, except for socially? Is a rocking chair a chair that has two legs and no feet? Is a computer chair with like 8 wheels a chair? What about a 3-leg stool? And those are just the easier ones. What about a rock that only one person is sitting on? What about a table, a bed? Is everything just the chair if only one person is sitting on it? The ground, the road, the sidewalk? No. Clearly, we define these labels socially, and through that social acceptance, we understand that a table is indeed not a chair. But in the rigid enforcement of dictionary definitions that these people would like to apply to gender without taking in the nature of it's a social construct, would be to say that a table is a chair if only one person is sitting on it, and would be in turn to destroy language. And that is why no word is held to the standard outside of gender, and that's just to reinforce their transphobic beliefs.
I think if you're an American, you're all encompassed under the American flag. We're all Americans, whether you're gay, straight, blind, you can see, crippled, it doesn't matter. We're all Americans, and we should be accepting of one another. We don't have to like one another. We don't have to like what each other does, but we should be accepting. And that's the way that normal people believe. It's the trans and the LGBTQ AARP.
So wait, are you saying that when you go
divisive.
past like a Ford factory and they've got like a big Ford flag outside or a Chrysler flag, or are you not allowed those flags because those flags don't represent
So
the
you're
company?
saying, you're saying that
Oh my God, that dude actually ripped his soul out of his body with that simple question. Look at him stuttering to answer. Officer Dum Dum doesn't realize at the beginning he was actually making a completely pro-trans argument before then showing the exact reason that this community identifies with a separate flag. The American flag isn't representative of equality for all. If it is, then under Trump, why were trans people banned from the military? Why are trans people still in lots of states prevented from accessing what in a lot of instances ends up being life-saving healthcare for them? If America was equally accepting of all the way that he even himself says that they should be, then the American flag would be enough. But it's hard to say they're accepting it all when you get numbnuts like this guy saying the fact that trans people want equality is what keeps them from being accepted. Like, I'm sure that his white conservative buddies thought the same about slaves as well. You know, oh, they wouldn't have so much problems if they weren't clamoring for equality and freedom so much. But I get the odd inclination that this dude is a racism isn't real and slavery didn't matter kind of guy. You know, his logic here would never hold up as consistent. I know as much to know that he is a staunch Trump guy. Does he lambaste Trump for flying Trump flags instead of the American flag? Or does he get mad at his little cop buddies for their Blue Lives Matter flag because you're Americans, you guys don't need other flags? Or is it just when flags get used as a symbol for people's cry for equality that this dumbass starts having a problem with it? If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations to get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.